This entryway was not where it needed to be. I had just been piecing it together since we moved into this house, just kind of adding on as we went. So I'm sharing a full makeover along with some DIY decor ideas. Let's get started. We're jumping right in. I started by taking everything off the walls and getting rid of all the rustic decor. And to prep for paint, I filled in the holes with this spackle that goes on pink and dries white when it hardens. For the paint, I went with this neutral tan color to give the hallway some warmth, but also keep it light. I had a couple of helpers who were excited to help with the painting. These are my two youngest, and they really did help, though I did have to go back and do some touch-ups. And now let's make some wall decor. I decided to try and work through some of my scrapwood pile, and so for this project I used a couple of the larger pieces I had. I used my table saw to cut these lengthwise into 1.5-inch boards to make frame shelves. I used two different lengths to make an 11 by 14 frame. I added pocket holes to both ends of the shorter pieces and assembled them using 1.25-inch pocket screws. I painted the frame black and cut a short board from a 1x4 for the shelf. The shelf will be attached using these flat corner braces. I measured for the shelf height I wanted, then marked and pre-drilled for the screws, and attached the braces to the frame. Once I had both on, I followed the same steps to pre-drill and attach the shelf. I did go ahead and make 3 of these. We'll come back to hanging those later, but first let's work on this corner by the stairs. When it came to painting, there was no real end point between this wall and the stairway, so I decided to copy the angle of the railing and just paint that top corner. It is a little tough to get a crisp paint line on textured walls, but it worked out pretty well. Okay, do you remember those folding plant stands with the shelves? Well, I wanted to make a small accent table with a similar look, so I repurposed this wood lantern, and you might remember the smaller one I recently turned into a plant stand. So for this one, I just used the square dowels. And once I had the pieces all apart and cut at an even length, I created 2 frames. At the top, I attached a shorter dowel 3/4 of an inch from the top, from the end of the long dowel, and attached that piece using wood glue and screws. And the bottom piece I attached with wood glue and brad nails. This is how those 2 frames look. If you saw my buffet makeover recently, I also used one of the hinges from the leaf pieces I took off, and I used this to connect the 2 frames to make a folding table. For the top of the table, I traced around the dowels so that the top will nest in that 3/4 inch space. You'll see that at the end. I cut that out with my jigsaw. And of course, I painted the base of the table black. For the final touches of this entryway makeover, I added this mirror that I found at 75% off at Hobby Lobby. And I put up my frame shelves using my favorite new tape and level trick. These shelves I did hang using anchors because they're a little heavier. But then I also added some family photos to this much simpler gallery wall. This 3-pack of document frames from Walmart is better quality than the dollar store for a few cents more, and I just added some black cardstock to account for the size difference. I love using vases to decorate and of course florals, and I'm loving these inexpensive dried bundles at Walmart. This wood decor piece was something I shared on TikTok, so here's that short clip. It's just some different size wood dowels glued onto a piece of plywood. And lastly, I added a doormat that pairs perfectly with the runner I already had. And here is the final look. This entryway feels so much better now. I think these colors are very calming, which is the feeling I want coming into my home. I'd appreciate if you gave this video a like and left a comment with your thoughts. And as always, thanks for watching.